It's a song about my dog. His name is Elvis. Elvis is riding on Jimi Hendrix's bus now. He traveled with me for many years. Well, I changed his name to King in the song to avoid any confusion. On the side of the road. I was on my way up to Eureka, California to play this gigantic gig. And, you know, he woke me up. It was about 6 o'clock in the morning. You get this nose, you know. He's like, he woke me up. I'm going, what's happening? And it's this big nose is looking at me, you know, like, desperate. You know, and I said, God, you smell terrible. You stink. And he knew he stunk. He wanted off the bus. He said, I want to go rolling some cow shit on the side of that road. So, you know, he was a smart dog, and he was purebred, actually. He's a beautiful animal. And he had all the senses that he needed. He knew how to get back. And, you know, hounds will circle an area and keep going wider and wider circles. Then they count how many times. Somehow they know how many times they went around it. So when you come back in, they just count it like the lifelines on a tree or something. You know, they just come right back in and right to the core, and that's where you started from. You know. So. Anyway, he knew that. He taught me that. And so I said, okay, I'll take a shot. I'll get to the point when I'm ready to get to the point. Get to the point, he says. What a dickhead. I'm telling a dog story. Get to the point. Am I in LA or what? You're tough, right? You can take it. Yeah, you know. We know. So, that's right. So anyway, I might have to start over again. I think I forgot. So anyway, now you got me going. He took off. I let him go. And there's only one thing that can go wrong if you do that. And that's if it rains. Then he can't find his way back because he can't smell over the little rings, you know. He just loses it completely. So he lost it. He got lost. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're still waiting for him to come back. And I got to go to the gig pretty soon or I'm going to be late, you know. And I'm going, shit, I lost my dog. How am I going to tell everybody? You know, I can't leave him behind. I can't, you know, what can I do? So I went out hunting for him. There was a railroad track there. And I walked up and down the railroad track and I was yelling into the trees. I was all by myself out there and walking up and down the track. And I couldn't hear a thing. And not a hound around. And so I gave up after a while, because a Rolling Stone guy was following me around with random notes. And I saw him writing down, you know, that I was out on this railroad track in the middle of nowhere yelling out Elvis. And so I knew that wouldn't be good for my image. So I went back to the bus, and I got out my lucky shirt. Which I don't have with me tonight, you may have noticed. I don't know. but it's too hot for my lucky shirt. So anyway, I took it out there and I put it down by the bowl. Took his bowl out there and I left his shirt. He'd come back eventually, find his way back to the shirt. Then I figured after the gig I'd come back. I'd pick him up, get back on the bus, take off. So I'm leaving, and this guy in a pickup truck pulls up and he says, "Hey Neil, what are you doing?" I said, "Well," so I told him, I'm not going to tell you all here. I told him, and then he said, "Well, that's okay, Neil. I'll go get my wife, and we'll wait. We'll wait right here until he comes back, and we'll bring him to you in Eureka." I said, "Wow, what a great guy. You're great." Yeah, so he did, so I took off, and just before I was about half an hour late. Nothing like Guns N' Roses, mind you. I lost my dog. What did they lose? You know what I mean? So I got there, and hey, that's rock and roll. You got to do what you do. And so just as I was going on, they called me and said they found me. I told the dog about everything. There in my truck, the dog and I. And one day the king up and died. And I was thinking about the times we had. Once when I kicked him when he was bad. That old king meant a lot to me. But that hound dog is his story. Jumping off the truck and right there. King went sniffing and he would go. Was the best old hound dog I ever did know. That old king was a friend of mine. Never knew a dog that was half as fine. I may find one you never do know, 'cause I still got a long way to go. I told the dog about everything. There in my truck, the dog and I.